Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Friday, June 29th, 10:53 p.m. Mountain Time 2018. You're looking at a massive hailstorm that hit northwestern South Dakota, Deadwood. These are the streets of. And I implore you to listen to this audio on this video. There'll be links below. It is atrocious, and I'm sure it smashed many buildings and many crops. This is deadly. If you're out here and this hits you, heads up. Let's get on with the update. Orphan bear cub rescued after paws are scorched in Colorado's 416 wildfire. Look at that little guy. An orphan bear cub that suffered painful burns to its paws on one half dozen wildfires scorching Colorado is being nursed back to health. Look at this little bear. Mama nowhere to be found. Let's talk about the wildfire. Another wildfire in southern parts of the state destroyed an unknown number of structures and forced residents of 350 homes to evacuate, authorities said. A third fire prompted evacuations of 300 homes west of Rocky Mountain National Park. The 416 fire grew to over 40,000 acres today and is mostly contained. The growth was to the northeast here. Burned more than 41,000 acres, 37% contained, and 2,000 homes were evacuated. People are being let back to many areas where the 416 fire burned. It's basically out. Northern California wildfires map, Pawnee fire and others mostly contained. More evacuees returning home in the Pawnee fire. Good news, almost 50% contained there. Over 200,000 homes without power. Bad news as severe thunderstorms hit parts of U.S. This is the southeast. More than 200,000 homes and businesses were left without power after severe thunderstorms swept through the United States in the southeast. On June 28th, one man was killed in a storm accident in Linville, Alabama. Strong winds and heavy rain affected areas from the mid-Mississippi Valley to the Gulf Coast on Thursday, downing trees and power lines, leaving 200,000 people without power. Currently, June 29th, 56,000 customers without power in Alabama, 42,000 in Illinois, 24,000 in Missouri, 13,000 in Minnesota, 9,600 in Oregon, according to Power Outage US. Almost all of the Thursday outages were in Alabama. Western South Dakota hit by hail. Holy hail. Whew. We're not waiting for that picture, but they're golf ball size, definitely. There's meth rock hail right there. Whew. That could be anything approaching a large rutabaga right there. Hailstorms that moved through southwestern South Dakota did extensive damage to the area around the Piedmont. Traffic was backed up on Interstate 90 for 5 miles in both directions from the Piedmont exit after 2 to 3 inch hail smashed windows and windshields on cars traveling on the interstate. Tow trucks have been called in to clear dozens of cars that couldn't be moved to safety, and the traffic jams lasted for several hours. This is just coming in. We'll have better footage tomorrow. The hail covered the ground and piled up drifts in some places. There were also extensive damage to roofs, windows, and trees. Whew. Yes, let's go back to it. Here we are back in Deadwood. Incredible massive hailstorm hits Deadwood. Clearly, we can see that the residents here don't have helmets, and that guy's an idiot. He's actually accelerating into the 100-mile-hour. Actually, it would be about 180 is terminal velocity, just thereabouts. And those people should be parked under an awning. Sheeple will never sleeple. I'll leave you links to all this below. Tornado hit southeast Montana. It's totally glorious. Might as well take a look. This is coming after a supercell storm produced 5 tornadoes on Thursday night in southeast Montana and into the far northwest of South Dakota. Same place the hail hit. The tornadoes touched down. That's a twister, folks. Listen to the audio. It's great. People just chuckling. Well, nothing to see here. You'll have links to all this down below where it says show more. Weather Ready Nation map. The heat is on. The widespread and dangerous heat wave will envelop most of the eastern 2/3 of the country, all the way up into upstate New York, Vermont. Heads up. Extending into the 4th of July. Highs will be 10 to 20 degrees above average, and heat indices will exceed 100 degrees easily. Global warming alarmists' heads will explode in their happiness. Daytime highs and overnight high minimum temperature records are possible. See that? Are possible. Because 1934, every single city in the United States was over 100 degrees for an entire week. Or thereabouts. Don't quote me on it. But the heat is on. UFO bizarre roll clouds. According to Tyler, this is a UFO tunnel. Stunning residents. We call this the Grand Solar Minimum Tube. And that's a boom. Heads up. Yes, indeed. Read the article. It's a totally awesome picture. And it's a real one coming from Tennessee just days ago. What we have here is a little nonsense. Cleveland tackles snow and ice in June. You want to hear what they're talking about here? An Ohio bill will allow for the sale of fracking wastewater to be used in snow and ice removal. Guys, they're going to dump radioactive toxic waste on your roads in Ohio. That's a heads up, Cleveland. If you have children and you live in this state, you better be talking to your senator about this bill that would allow for fracking wastewater, which is radioactive, has heavy metals, benzene, and other toxins that will shorten your life, to be dumped over your roads and run off to the side of the groundwater. Yeah, Ohio's a disgusting place. Ben Davidson left long ago. Heads up, Ben. They were dumping that on your roads. I would be leaving too. Clearly, we have a problem here, so we're just going to back it up. Stay with me. Officials plead for help as crops fail. This is coming from Lancaster Farming, the farmer's choice. These are going to be crops completely underwater. A cornfield in southern Delaware is inundated by rain. Delaware officials have asked the USDA for emergency declaration to address the heavy impact of rains they've had on the farms this year. An abnormally wet spring has led Delaware officials to ask USDA for emergency declaration to help farmers affected by soggy weather. In some instances, even multiple replantings have not helped, officials said. Farming is hard no matter what, but when you get hit with weather we have seen in the Grand Solar Minimum this spring, and the damage it has done to our fruit and vegetable crops, our grains, and our hay, it has a huge impact. Are you listening, Christian? Put it on the map. This is the Delmarva Peninsula. Continuous rain, coffee planters feel crop losses. Guys, I've been shopping at my market, and coffee is up at least 20%, the brand that I buy. So I'm going to be stockpiling multiple pounds of it in the near future because it is going to continue to rise off the charts. And if you like coffee and you want to survive and thrive with coffee every morning, at least, you better start stockpiling coffee. It may be out of reach. Coffee planters have been fearing a huge crop loss as the coffee fruits have started withering due to continuous and heavy rains. Let's talk to David Dubine about this. He's well aware of the sensitivity of the Arabica bean to climate shifts. On the other hand, farmers too are worried they are not able to spray insecticides on the plants. So these guys, because they're going to rinse right off. During the current year, most coffee plants were healthy and the planters exceeded more gain compared to the earlier year, but the continuous rain is totally screwing the punch. Yes, coffee planters feel crop loss. You better stockpile now. Summer powder skiing in the Alps. Yes, this is Europe. Look at those picnic tables. There should be picnics. There's been a big late June snowfall reported in the Kitzkinhorn Glacier in the Alps near Kupferin and Zell in Sea Austria's in Salzburg region. The glacier is one of 7 currently open for the summer skiing and the snowboarding in the Alps, but it's the only reporting for the big snowfalls. The picture above is the big snowfall, which is the 20 centimeters of the fresh global warming. Thanks, Al. That's boom. That's in the Northern Hemisphere in the summer. Let's go to the Southern Hemisphere. Australia, snowy weekend ahead yet again for another Alps. More snow is on the way for the Alps this weekend, not the ones in the Northern Hemispheres. They already got theirs. Continuing a good start to the season in Australia's ski resorts. After a spell of freezing nights and mostly sunny days in the Alps, clouds and showers return to the mountains on Thursday. Unfortunately, these showers are falling as rain, but they will change over. And that will begin the dump of snow. Light snow showers likely above 1,100, 1,200 meters on Thursday night, Friday, amounting to a few centimeters. And boom, here we are. Heavy snow likely to fall on the weekend with the passage of a cold front, bringing 5 to 10 centimeters of natural snow Saturday before clearer skies return on Sunday. Yes, record snow levels here. Here we see natural snow depth reported at Mount Hotham on Thursday, 65 centimeters, the highest for almost 5 years. And the bomb said it was going to be warm. Record-breaking rain is making way for a weekend of stellar snow in Australia. If you found yourself putting in a few more layers than normal and cranking up the heat this week, you weren't alone. Melbourne almost had its coldest June day since 1993, with the maximum recorded temperature reaching 9.8 degrees. And that's a boom for the bomb, because they're bust. However, a slight rise to 10.6 this morning was counted in the mix, stopping the day knocking 1993 off the cold top block. The chilly temperatures is good news for Australia's ski resorts who are gearing up for a brilliant weekend. We just showed you this picture. It's totally insane. We doubled up. Let's move on. Couple more and we're done. Hang with us. Old school style. We're being blocked. Probably not. At least 23 killed, 11 missing after heavy rain floods northern Vietnam, totally fluxed. These are earth movers. That's a lot of earth to move. At least 23 people have been killed, 11 are missing after severe storms flux Vietnam's northern mountainous provinces. The worst affected are Hai Gan, Lao Cho, Lao Cai, Dinh Binh, northern mountainous provinces. Authorities say the water level in upper reaches of the rivers had reached record levels during the past 20 years. Record levels in 20 years. These people look totally terrified. Heavy rain started falling through the region on Saturday, June 23rd, killing 5, leaving 12 missing in the province of Lao Chau. Floods and the landslides swept away or damaged hundreds of homes. The country's Central Steering Committee for Natural Disaster Prevention said, adding that some sections of national and provincial roads were damaged, causing serious traffic jams and earth-moving equipment to look tiny. Multiple landslides were triggered, and this video will never load. Look at it on your own. Massive earthquake happening moments ago before we started the video, 6.0 in Patrico, Mexico. You probably heard of it. Now, this is coming moments before a 3.0 in central Utah had been removed by the USGS. And then a Nebraska quake doubling up a 4.2 in Broken Bow. Very strange. Could be a frac quake. Strange things are afoot on Earth. We have a 5.2 explosion in Kilauea, followed by a 6.0 in Patrico, Mexico, which just shortly before, there was a strange 3 magnitude Utah quake, which has been removed, replaced by a 4.2 in Bow, Nebraska. This is crazy times, folks. We're going to be watching this closely because KP is at 0, and it has been for 9 hours. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Because you probably already know what I'm talking about. Severe cold snow expected in the Western Cape this weekend. This is South Africa. The Provincial Disaster Management Center has urged residents to contact the nearest municipal office should emergencies occur. Western Cape residents should brace themselves for severe weather conditions this weekend. The Provincial Disaster Management Center urged residents it could be severe. Cold front expected over parts of South Africa between 1/3 of July 2018. Snow, very cold temperatures, windy and rainy weather expected. That's totally flux down there. Good news, because they had no water, and now they have too much, and it's in the form of ice. Back to the seismic update. This 4.2 in Bow, Nebraska, very unique. We have a 6.0 registering 5 on the shake map, and I don't have any updates from it because it just happened. So that's a boom. So we're going to be looking for some, let's get in on here and let's see what happened. Let's see if it's offshore. And it doesn't look like there's a tsunami warning. But this is going to be close to land. Very interesting quake. San Patrico. 6.0 at 24.8 kilometers. And then we have this 4.2 up in Bow, Nebraska. Could be a frac quake. This is way up there. It could be associated with that massive low pressure system moving across there, dumping hail. Just saying. Solar cycle 24 to bottom with the economic confidence model of 2020. This is coming from Armstrong Economics. I shared this on Solar Shutdown a few hours ago. If you haven't seen it, read it in its entirety. In Armstrong Economics, we recommend you come here for continuous updates as we descend into the grand solar minimum. The deep minimum of 23's potential impact on climate change has been interesting, and on. The data is in. All factors are showing a decline, continuous decline, down, down, down. And that doesn't bode well. Here's the mainstream prediction predicting solar minimum to come in at 20. Solar minimum happening July of 2019. July 2019 solar minimum will be reached according to the prediction. That is 13 months from now as we go down, down, down into the decline. And this is a mainstream prediction. We could extend this out to 2020 easily and still be on pace. Now, this is the current forecast for solar cycle 24. We can see the pink project is the forecast for the industry, and it coincides very well with the economic confidence model, which is not very confident. As Armstrong Economics has stated before, a 300-year major cycle in the energy output of the sun matched the economic confidence model, constructed from entirely different data sources, including the monetary history of human activity. I was stunned, for it demonstrates to me that the rise and fall of empires, nations, and city-states are also in part controlled by the sun. When it turns cold, this is when civilization contracts. They're just confirming everything we're putting down, and apparently they've picked it up. Let's talk about some solutions. Effects of cow milk on sucking pests and insect predators on rows. It's true. Guys, get a cow. If you're a homesteader and you don't have an animal that makes milk, well, then you don't have free pesticide. Cow's milk was evaluated for toxicity in bioassays against 3 pests: aphids, thrips, and 2 spotted spider mites. And guess what? 80% effective milk. It also has nutritive effects, and then it is continuously has a useful effect, side effect, as a pesticide. And we're talking milk. Leftover milk can be sprayed onto plants. I'll leave you the paper coming out in 2015 by Garima Gupta. Coming out of India, these people are ingenious, and they love the cow. Heads up. Journal of Eco-Friendly Agriculture, the effects of cow milk on sucking pests, which doesn't suck. Which this also doesn't suck. Oppenheimer Ranch Project has a store. You asked for it, we got it. The only reason we did it was because I already had a Teespring store open up, and YouTube happened to offer a link up to Teespring just yesterday. We launched it. We're one of the first people using it. So below every video, there's going to be a scrolling screen of all of our gear. Yes, we have gear. We have the Russian Grand Solar Minimum Much shirt. We have the KP0 mug. And you could support the channel by supporting your fashion statement. Check out the wife beater. $19. Coffee mugs and totes too. That means if you click on it, there's even more products underneath each product. You click on a single product, and there's a whole group of products with the product. Here we have tote bags. Just click on the tote bag, pick the color. You know, I like to stand out, so I do red. Oh, we're just going to get a tank top. We don't want that. You get the picture. If you need a shirt, come over here. We'll let it load up and see what it looks like. KP0, 9 hours now. And here, the 6.0 kicking off and the 4.2 in Nebraska, associated with this spike down, which is a cosmic ray flux spike. When we're at KP0, we have a high cosmic ray influence on the planet. And as the magnetosphere wanes, these spikes are going to be more prevalent. And this could potentially be the spike that potentially kicked off the 6.0 in Mexico. I know it's a correlation which does not show causation, but we're just pointing out the obvious for those who can't pick it up. So that's a Space Weather News update. Here's the Grand Solar Minimum Much tote, and on the back, it says boom. It does, but that's Russian. It's a Russian boom. Here you can enlarge it. Come take a look. It's pretty fantastic. Support the channel. Start your day the right way with an Oppenheimer mug. Grand Solar Minimum much. You could do it. You just come over here and figure out. We're just putting this up. There were some initial errors, and those take a day to parse up. So you can get a cheap $3 sticker. Eyes open, no fear. How about a hoodie? Yeah, that could be a little expensive. 17 bucks for a t-shirt. Comes in like 10 flavors. You know, I mean, I picked some trendy colors because I'm trendy. You asked for it, you got it, boom. Support the channel, inform the public. Yeah, it has a front and a back. This is a $16.99 tee. Where are you going to get a tee like that for $16.99? Only at the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. And that is a boom for $16.99. Heads up. Guys, I hope you got something out of the video. Times are changing. I had other links to show you. They've been erased. But we got through it. It's another day. And if you're not preparing, it's another day lost. Be safe.